But yeah,
I've hit start streaming. So let's see what happens. Yep. Hello, YouTube.
oh my word, are we actually out there? We are. Oh yeah, there we are. Look at that.
Hello, YouTube. Welcome. We are doing exactly what we said we wouldn't do and just have the stream start with two guys going, "Are we on?" And here we are.
Two almost middle-aged men just going, "Is this working? Is this thing on? Hello,
Hello?
Is anyone out there?" Like, with Dad, your thumbs on your thumbs on the camera. Your thumbs on the camera again. What are you saying, son?
Are you on mute? Are you on mute?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my God.
Doing this correct. Shall what do you think? Should we just launch into this?
I think we can.
I haven't hit record in Logic yet.
That's actual shit. Yeah. No, I have.
We were supposed to do that before we hit live. So here we go. Right,
so yeah, that means people are going to see the clap and everything.
I know, so professional. I'm recording now. Are you recording?
I am recording. Yes.
Excellent. Well, tell you what, we might as well do the clap, and then just get chatting about it, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. So
wait, what podcast number are we on? 115.
115. I think I'm doing the intro this week, and I haven't really thought about it.
Well, that's why we have a template.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah, it's for these situations. Okay.
I mean, it'll be all right. Anyway,
here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God.
It's great. It's great. It's gonna look great on YouTube.
People can now see how delayed it is. At least.
No, because it's coming from me. It's going to sound perfect every time.
It's really not.
Hello, Ephesus. Good evening. Lovely to
Hello,
have you
Ephesus.
here.
Lovely to have you here.
Okay. Shall I do this?
Do it.
Hello and welcome to the Geekatorium podcast, episode 115. Here we are, finally talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi. There will be spoilers. Episode 1 and 2 have already been released, and we have both watched them. All of Stranger Things has also been released as well, but Rick and I only have time to have watched one of those episodes. So spoilers for only episode 1 of Stranger Things season 4. We've got a Sodium story regarding Marvel that's a bit of a callback to a Sodium story we had a few weeks ago. And for our Fantastic 5 this week, we are ranking the prequel characters that we would like to see in the remaining episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So that's got all the intro out of the way. One more spoiler warning for Stranger Things episode 1 and Obi-Wan Kenobi episodes 1 and 2. Until then, let's go into the podcast.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
How are you?
Yeah, getting there.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, I can't complain. I mean, like, it's the usual tiredness that I've always got, but that's okay. This weekend, it's just me and the wee man for the entire weekend. Mrs. C is working over the weekend, so it's me and the wee man. We went for a walk today, an almost 2-hour walk with the dog as well. And the dog was not happy about this. He's just like, I'm enjoying this walk. Why is this walk still going on? Oh my God, this walk is still happening. What are we doing? And now why are we going home? We can't go home yet. I'm still enjoying the walk. No, you're not.
Oh, God. At least you have a dog that gets excited when it comes to going for a walk. Mine hates getting ready to go for a walk. Like, you get the harness out and he looks at me like I'm going to beat him. He hides. It's
brilliant.
It's awful. And then this week it rained quite a lot this week.
Yep.
And I opened the front door and all he could see was the torrential rain and the sadness in his eyes. Like, you can't make me go out in this. You can't do this to me.
The face that the dogs pulled.
If he had thumbs, he'd be calling the RSPCA. It's
Oh, bless, dude. No, bless.
Oh,
I mean, it could just could use Siri, couldn't it? Oh, Siri.
I didn't know you could do Scooby Doo.
I know, right? Neither did I. I've just found out. Move over, Mark. Silk and job's mine. Oh, brilliant, brilliant. I suppose we should really get on with this because this is going to be quite a big one.
Yeah, I mean, this could be as long. This episode could be as long as a Stranger Things episode. It's, I mean, episode 1 of Stranger Things.
Should we start with that?
Yeah, 1 hour and 17 minutes.
Okay. What did you think?
I mean, I like it. I like it. I find
aged a lot.
They've aged an awful lot.
They've
oh my
aged
god,
so much.
They all look like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man when he's in high school. They all.
Yeah. It's like, okay, we're watching American Pie here. Like it's gone.
Beverly Hills 90210 for 30-years in high school.
You now look like you're in your 20s and you're in high school. It
so
doesn't work for me.
It's not. We have to suspend our disbelief to a certain degree. The thing that I find with episode 1 though is every other season sort of starts in a happy place. This season is not starting in a happy place. They are all very unhappy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So what we've got Jane, aka Elle, aka
that was something that bothered me. Like she's called Jane in the school, but I've forgotten his name. But the kid who went missing in the first one, Will, that's it. Will keeps on calling her Elle or Ellie.
In the school
where everyone else
all
is calling
teachers
her
call her Jane.
Yeah, and it bugs me. It's like, dude, you've got to keep up the lie.
Yeah,
you're not helping yourselves. It's really it's a nitpick, but it bothers me.
I get that, and but like she's not like I love it. But again, it's a bit of a bait and twist. She talks about how awesome she's getting on, but then it turns out that that's horrible.
Yeah,
Will is painting, but we don't know what. So I'm guessing it's just going to be the alphabet on the walls again. We've got who else have we got? The group is splitting up because one of them's becoming cool. Again, how much has he aged?
Yeah. Like too much.
He's on the basketball team now, and he's gone from being like, it's like Lost all over again, isn't it?
It's Walt. Yes, it's Walt. Exactly. Yes, but he's gone from, because last season I was thinking, do you know what? If they did a live action Miles Morales, he'd be great. And now he's too old. He's too old to play Miles Morales.
Crazy. But yeah, now apart from like, so yeah, but you've got that he's like splitting off from the group because he's suddenly discovered that he's good at basketball.
Yeah.
Which
he's
is
an athlete now.
It's not racially charged at all. It's like, oh come on, guys. Why did it have to be that one? Like that of all the kids, why did they have to pick that kid to be the one who suddenly was good at basketball? It was like, come on, writers, you're better than this. You're better than this.
I don't know. When it comes to the 80s, though, dude, it's not like it's like set in today's times.
No, but even the 80s, you'd still have kids who were like, just because it's the 80s, it's a different standard of racism and everything.
Yeah, no,
like
I guess
it's not about that. It's like it's just like, I guess like I think one of the biggest criticisms I've now got of Stranger, and I love Stranger Things, and I enjoyed this first episode. I'm going to put my cards on the table right there straight away. So I enjoyed this first episode. But one of my criticisms now that I'm finding about Stranger Things is one of the biggest selling points of Stranger Things was like it's nostalgic for the 80s. And what I'm finding is it's nostalgic for for an 80s that never existed. The 80s that only existed in our minds. The 80s that exist. The 80s that existed in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's the 80s that it's nostalgic for. Yeah. And I get in a way they're kind of aiming for that, but they didn't pitch it like that. They pitched it like this is what the 80s was actually like, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
With Gormagons instead.
Yeah. Well, this actually, when you bring up Demogorgons, right? This is the thing that kind of also was bothering me a tad, which was, if I'd lived the life that they had lived, I'd probably stay away from Dungeons and Dragons at this point. I don't think.
Just wait till they hit the 90s and they find the Jumanji board game.
Oh God. Oh no. But okay. If we, I have to say, I need to get this out of my. You may have seen me do a post about this on social media, but the new character that I really like, this new character, Eddie.
Yeah.
One, he's very much like me. He's like this nerd, and he kisses his guitar when he says hello to it and all of that. It's very me. But he does super remind me of a drummer, a real life drummer called Terry Bozzio, who played for Frank Zappa in the 70s.
Right.
If you look up any clips of this guy, Terry Bozzio, the voice, the demeanor, everything, he is, I truly believe that the actor has based his character performance on Terry Bozzio.
Really?
It's so eerie. I'm sitting there watching it going like, why is he doing Terry Bozzio impressions? It's just, and I know that's very niche just to me, but
Brilliant.
I'm hoping that there's some Frank Zappa fans out there that might go, you know what, actually, yeah, that is really Terry Bozzio. Yeah, okay. But I like this new character, and he's already in episode 1. He's dropped right in it.
Yeah, they've done this every season. They've introduced a couple of new characters like a new character every season. But this one like is like proper, this is a new character, bang, straight in. And like not only is he a new character, but he's in the thick of it. And I think that's one of the things I want to this season's going very, very heavy on the horror.
Yeah,
much
in a good
more.
way, in a really good way.
Oh no, it was great.
Yeah.
I was, it was shocking. It was like really, really shocking at the end there. And so I'm and even at the beginning as well, right at the beginning as well, it is a shocking, it was shock at the beginning and proper horror right at the end. And yeah, that definitely seems to be, it's like the 80s, but the 80s of Nightmare on Elm Street that we seem to be going for now. Which I'm all for. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I'm interested to see how it plays out. As I said, it's interesting. The characters have all grown, and I think it's quite. I actually, you say it starts in a dark, unhappy place, or in an unhappy place as opposed to previous seasons. I actually quite like they've done that, because at the end of last season they did split up. They did go their separate ways, so to speak.
Yeah, I suppose.
So, I quite, there is. I think it is true to life in a way that people do grow up, people's interests move apart, friendships don't last forever, which is unfortunate. And I think I'm kind of okay with the fact that they're kind of exploring that in this season already, in that first episode. So
do you think they're gonna really, because I think they are, but they very strongly hinted last season that Will was actually a gay. And I wonder if they really sort of pay that off in a decent way in this season, because
I hope so. Well, yeah, definitely. I think they can get the racism wrong, but hopefully they'll get the gay right. So we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, well, no, fair.
Mate, I'm always going to be like, as the mixed race kid who grew up in the 80s, I'm always going to be like, right, let's see how racist this gets. I will always pick up on the racism.
That's what the R in radar stands for.
It's what I do. No, but I enjoyed it. It was a good first episode. I am interested. I'm going to be trying to. As I said, I'll probably be only watching one a week because, as you mentioned, long. Very, very
long. Yeah,
so long.
It's a full day's work. It's a full day's work to watch that season. It's almost obscene. I mean, I know I talked about it last week, but yeah, when you want to watch a whole season in a weekend, like you want it to only take maybe 4 hours a day. You don't want it to take 6 hours a day. Yeah. That's those extra 2 hours a day. It's too much.
100%. I also like, the science fictiony horror aspect aside, talking about the writing and the shooting, the direction of it. I actually really like the way that they did the scene where they were talking about each other's feelings. I thought that was so nice. It was such a well done, well written scene, and the way it was shot as well just worked perfectly. And I know it's a trope that's been done before, but it seemed to work really well, especially with those two characters. And what I liked is it didn't. I think that. Obviously, there's anxiety in that relationship, and it'll probably play out as the season goes on a little bit. But it didn't seem like terrible anxiety. I hope they don't do the whole, we're going to split them up halfway through the season, and then I hate it when they do that.
I'm hoping it draws them all in, especially because they're already split up. The whole thing is that they're going to have to find a way to bring them all back together again. And that includes Hopper back from Russia and all of that stuff. There's a lot to be dealt with. What do you think of
Russian doll?
Yeah, the Russian doll thing was very interesting. And I don't know who sent the letter saying Hop was alive, because the thing that bothered me as well was I was like, Hop couldn't have sent the parcel because he died, air quotes, he died,
Well,
and then they moved. He wouldn't have known where they'd moved to, or that they had moved. So someone in the know
somewhere,
probably Matthew Modine's character, who you saw in the flashback at the beginning, and it's been hinted that he's still alive after season 1. So it could be him. Just a very.
I will say, thank God there was a flashback.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah. Well, no, not just no. That was the
recap.
There was the recap, and then there's the flashback.
That's right.
With a very good de-aged 11. Very good de-aged.
Very
11.
good. Very good. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This de-aging technology is getting better and better all the time.
Yeah. I'm hoping I'll be able to use it for my next headshots.
Yep.
Yeah.
They'll make you look like a fetus.
That's kind of how I feel like I already look right now. You know, when you get that old, where you just feel like you're like, no, I look like a newborn baby. I have that grandfather look now.
Excellent.
But just quickly, what do you think of the villain? What do you think of the new bad? Is this the Mind Flayer in his true form?
Oh, I don't know. I thought, maybe. Terrifying. That's what I thought of it.
It's kind of terrifying, but it's also a little bit Frank Langella, Skeletor, Master of the
Universe.
No.
The idea is terrifying. But like at the same time, kind of predictable. That's the look that they would go for, if you know what I mean. Like, let's make it look as evil as possible. How do we make it look evil?
Actually, it looks a bit Resident Evil. It looks a bit Resident Evil as well. Like what was it called? The Berserker or something from Resident Evil, something like that. I don't know.
In my head, you said Resident Evil, and I just pictured this thing as a doctor. So nice. It's I mean, like, it's already done some terrible things, so let's see what happens.
I mean, we're saying that like it is coming out weekly. There are people who may be listening to this that's like,
who's already watched the whole season.
They're like, you guys are so wrong. You guys are so wrong.
How do you have time for this? Tell me your secret.
They don't have to worry about recording and editing a podcast. That's their secret.
There you go. Right.
Okay. The big one.
Shall we talk about the big one?
The big one. So before I've got something I want to do here. Because these first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi reminded me of a different movie. And I want to do a speech from that movie in my best Alec Guinness to see if you get the reference of what movie it reminded me of.
Go on.
Okay. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for a ransom, I can tell you I don't have credits. But what I do have is a very particular set of training. Jedi training I've acquired over a very long career with Master Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Training that makes me a nightmare for Bantha Poodoo like you. If you let the princess go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you, I will not pursue you, I will not bind you, and I will not penetrate you with my lightsaber. But if you don't let her go, I will look for you, I will find you, and I will take the high ground.
Oh, dude. Yes, Obi-Wan taken.
It's exactly what it is.
It's an okay, cards on the table. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I enjoyed this episode 2 more than 1.
I enjoyed it very much, and Ewan McGregor is knocking it out of the park as Obi-Wan Kenobi because he is he's a great actor. I really loved the recap based on all the prequel movies.
Yes, that was great.
I thought that was brilliant. It was well done, and it took exactly what it needed from each prequel, from each movie, to actually make sense of what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. So I really, really liked that. Yet again, we're back on Sand Planet. Which made Which did you get like a little bit excited when you watched the trailer for Cassian Andor and it's like it's not on a sand planet? Amazing.
Do you know, I don't mind that everything happens on Tatooine. I don't mind.
Tatooine's not the center of the galaxy. Like
it's the outer rim, though. It's sort of like
yeah, but there's other planets in the outer rim. The outer rim territories are huge.
I don't care.
Go somewhere else.
I don't care.
I do. You've got this giant galaxy. Go explore it. This is why Star Trek is better in that regard.
I suppose.
Except except that it's usually Klingon, Vulcan, Earth. Okay, fair enough. Right. Anyway,
and it's always San Francisco when they're on Earth.
Yes, or Le Bar, France. Right. What I was gonna say was, I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed it a lot, despite its flaws, and it is flawed. It is a flawed show.
Yeah.
And some of the flaws are in the plotting, and some of the flaws are in the decisions that they've made, and some of the flaws are in the characterization of characters.
Some of it's in the editing as well. Like there's some, to skip ahead a bit, you know, when he stops the little one from falling, and then all of a sudden he's all of a sudden on the ground again. It's like, wait, how quickly did you jump? How did you get down there?
Yeah, it's good. No, but the thing is, despite all of that, it's very enjoyable. Yeah, and I think it's more rewarding for fans of Star Wars than new viewers to Star Wars. Someone who's coming in cold to Star Wars is not going to enjoy this.
No,
it's not for them.
No,
it's
God,
not for them.
No,
this is definitely for the fans.
Like, this is for the prequel fans who are now old enough to get more mature stuff. But in some ways, do you know what? There's a bit of me that wants George Lucas-esque atmosphere back a little bit, because I will say it's a little bit too bleak.
Well, it's again they've had success with The Mandalorian, and now every Star Wars show has to look like and sound like and feel like The Mandalorian.
I suppose, yeah.
So it's like, if it looks like a Mandalorian and sounds like a Mandalorian, it's an Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yeah,
and that's it. But that aside, it's good. I liked the girl playing Leia.
Yeah,
feels like she should be playing Leia. Like it feels like that is a child Leia. That works. That they brought back so many of the original cast from the prequels, like Owen Lars,
Jimmy Smits.
Yeah, it works for me that they actually brought them back, and then they work because they've still got the ability. They've still got the continuation works for me. It's back on Tatooine again, but it still feels a bit different. Like we're seeing a different side of Tatooine than we did on Boba Fett.
And it's a different era. It's a different era.
Yeah, and they've nailed that look. And there are some interesting things that have happened so far. I liked the brief scene with a clone trooper begging on the streets. Like
that I really liked, and also,
I like that because that's one of the things that's not touched on a lot. It is touched on in Rebels, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Is the clone troopers who didn't execute Order 66, who overcame their programming for whatever reason, that they didn't actually follow through on the command, like the Bad Batch, or like Rex, who then got cured while Order 66 was going. But the point is that there was a bunch of clone troopers who didn't follow, didn't execute Order 66, and as a result. But then there's also the side of it as well where through and it's you see it happening in Rebels as well, is that the clone troopers get replaced by humans as well. So what happens to the clone troopers? Well, they just get either they get absorbed into the infantry units, or they just get kicked out and they're on the streets. So
well, let's be honest, they probably get killed. They
do that as well.
They probably get killed. Well. Here's an interesting little thing, because I don't believe it's happened in any other way, even though there's been live action films. You know, the flashback to Order 66 at the very beginning, which very clearly those younglings are probably all the Inquisitors that we're following right now, or at least the main one, Reva.
I don't think they all are, but yes.
I think it's Reva. It's definitely her. Yeah. But during that scene, it's the first time that we've seen people, and not CG, people in clone trooper armor.
No, it's great. It looks great.
First time, and all the other times it's CG.
I saw a weird criticism of that scene where someone was like, "Oh, the camera movements were all smooth when they were training, and then suddenly it went all shaky as the clone troopers ran in." I was like, "Yeah," because suddenly it went from calm, like that was deliberate. That was deliberate. because you're going from really calm training into war.
Yes.
It was the weirdest criticism of something I've ever seen. I was like, you don't understand storytelling here.
They
like,
don't understand filmmaking
yeah,
or
filmmaking
like,
technique. It was just such a weird thing. But I loved that. I loved that they did that. And I love that. I also loved it showed you how quick Order 66 was. Like, because we've seen Order 66 in Revenge of the Sith with, taking down the Jedi who were out in battle.
Yeah, yeah.
And we saw the troops marching into the Jedi Temple. And then we had that one scene of Master Skywalker, what shall we do? And that was it. But what we didn't see is this, and it was brilliant. I really, really enjoyed it. It was well done. Yes, it's obvious. Like the Inquisitors are a combination of people who've dallied in the dark side and Jedi who have turned to the dark side, or Jedi who have been tortured and become Inquisitors.
Well, it's like the game Fallen Order does actually really cover what really the Inquisitors are and all of that. There's some of them are former Padwans and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I've got no doubts, obviously, that one of these is at least one of them is now an Inquisitor. There's no doubt at all, and it's going to be it's going to be Revan Reva is one probably going to be one of them.
The third sister, I think.
I imagine what we're going to do is they'll do a Boba Fett where like we'll probably flash back to the Order 66 and them running away, and because you know what I mean.
Like, we'll get a Grogu cameo.
Oh my God, could you imagine? I'd die. And so I enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing Order 66 again. Again, we're getting more, we're seeing it more, which I like, because I think like after seeing Attack of the Clones, the Clone Wars in Series 7 doing it, Order 66, and seeing that side, it was just amazing. So it's really cool that it's fleshing out sort of how sudden it was and how devastating it was. Which you didn't really get from Revenge of the Sith. So again, I liked that. How come all these Inquisitors were trying to find Obi-Wan Kenobi for all time?
Yeah.
How come those Inquisitors hunting down Jedi, yet this one random Jedi can go, oh, by the way, you're Obi-Wan. I found you. Like, he wasn't like, it just like, that didn't make sense to me. It's like, hang on a second, you just stumbled across him. On top of that, also, he wasn't a very good Jedi.
No, he wasn't. Well, I mean,
how am I going to stop you guys with sheets?
I mean, it worked.
No, not really. And that's the thing that weirded me. I was like, why are they stopped all of a sudden? They're trying to capture the guy, and they go, "We've been stopped by sheets that we've actually have just walked through." Like, it didn't make any sense that they just stopped them. Like they saw where he went. Like, your job is to go capture that guy.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's arrogance, though, isn't it? No, I think it's part of its arrogance. I do think that the reason I may have read too much into it, or I've applied my own headcanon a bit too much. I think that Jedi was found on Tatooine because he was trying to find Obi-Wan.
Okay,
I don't think he just stumbled upon him. I think he was there
but
to
just bear in
find
mind
him.
that the only person who knows that he'd gone to Tatooine was a Yoda. That was it. That was the only person who knew.
Well, then we also have to jump forward a little bit and figure out, how does Reva know that Vader is Anakin?
Well, because Reva is if she is one of the Padawans from one of the younglings of Padawans, she knows Anakin Skywalker. He's one of the most famous
Yeah,
Jedi.
but even Ahsoka in Rebels didn't know it was Anakin until halfway through the fight. Like, she didn't really truly know that Vader was Anakin until later on.
Are you sure? I'm sure she knew.
I don't think she knew from the beginning.
No, I'm sure she knew. I'm sure everybody knew. No, because it was fake. Like, everyone. No, because Ahsoka knew this from bloody end of Clone Wars, end of that season.
Did she?
Everyone.
Well,
knew.
I didn't watch episode. Listen, I haven't finished season 1 of Clone Wars. I'm sorry.
Everyone knew. Everyone knew that Anakin became Darth Vader. Everyone knew. Like, it was
right.
Yes.
Okay, but.
He's flouncing about the Jedi temples, slaughtering younglings. He hasn't got his Darth Vader mask on at that point. He's like, I'm killing younglings.
Well, then let's figure this out. How come then in 10 years it hasn't got back to Obi-Wan that Vader is still alive? In 10 years that he hasn't found out
Because he's in proper hiding, isn't he? He's like proper just laying low. And
I don't look. We can pick it
no,
apart.
as far as no, but as far as he's concerned, like the Empire is one is just the Emperor. As far as, and he's probably assumed that he's got he's a new apprentice at this point.
Yeah.
His focus is entirely on Luke, and that's it. So I that's the only way I can write this correctly, because again, I like it despite its flaws.
Yeah,
that's a flawed show.
It is very flawed.
There's other things that I didn't like as well. Like I didn't like how Reva was jumping around and somersaulting all over the place.
Parkour.
Like, yeah, like am I watching Star Wars or Twilight? I don't like it. It was a bit OTT, but sticking on that character as well. She's over the top as well. Kind of found it hilariously evil, if you know what I mean. It was verging on comical as opposed to scary.
I think the problem that I'm finding with that character is that she's so gonna turn back to the light at the end of the season. It's
God,
so
yeah. Oh no, but it's gonna be on her deathbed. It's gonna be another
she'll sacrifice herself for the good of
But,
you know.
But there's so many aspects of it. I go like, you are comically evil, and also at any point during that first episode, I was expecting you to say, "Give me your badge and your gun." Like at any point, I was expecting the Grand Inquisitor to say that, because it's just like it was so comic. Like it was as I say, it was verging on comical how evil she was. Like she was getting chewed out by all the other Inquisitors for going too far. It's like, excuse me, you're Inquisitors. You're supposed to, it's it's really like, it kind of took. I can't take her seriously as a villain when I find her the equivalent of Dr. Evil. Like and that's it's going to be. We've only got 6 episodes of this, which is the interesting thing. So it's going to be. Let's see. I look forward to seeing what the character arc is. She's probably overcompensating. That's all I can say.
She probably is. But then the thing that's rather interesting here is, we thought when that first episode comes out, and we haven't even talked about Flea, when Flea kidnaps Leia. God. Listen, make him blue or something. Flea doesn't look alien enough for Star Wars. It just looks like Flea. It's Needles. It's Needles in Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I found it quite a good setup. That it was like, right, this is how we get Obi-Wan out of hiding. Leia's been kidnapped. He goes to rescue her. But now that that's essentially been resolved within 2 episodes, where do we go now? Where does it actually go from here? What's the rest of the story? Like, is it now that they're on the run? Like, they're not going to get back to Alderaan very quickly. It is going to be like, okay, now we're on the run because now we know Vader's alive and he's going to be after us. And oh my God, he doesn't even he can't even tell her. It's like, oh my God, your dad's alive and he's an evil son of a bitch. Oh, and by the way, remember that person I said that you reminded me of? Turns out that's your dead mum as well. There's a lot. I mean, this is why they didn't like the Jedi. They keep too many secrets.
Again, as I said, like is this a show that needed to be made?
Yes.
No, it's not a show that needed to be made.
I wanted it. This is one of the only things.
I wanted it as well, but I don't think it needed to be made. Like it's good. Like, don't be wrong. I said the first 2 episodes, I enjoyed them. I thought overall they were very good. There were just a few flaws that I go, But again, they could be rectified as time goes on. Maybe Reva becomes maybe it is a case of she is like overcompensating for her evilness in the way that she is, because she's trying to, I don't know, do something. Maybe that'll get.
She's got probably like Kylo Ren syndrome, that she knows that she's got the light, so she's overcompensating her evilness.
Kylo Ren syndrome, i.e., a bad guy written by Disney. Like. Yeah. But it's the whole point of maybe it'll pay off as the season goes on. But I think for me, the biggest issue I can take with it, and this is saying a lot. Like, actually, I don't think there's actually that many. Like, as I say, I'm nitpicking. Some of these things that I've got I find are flaws are nitpicking, and I say it doesn't take away from my overall enjoyment of it. But the thing that doesn't risk me losing it on this show, like me not enjoying it, is how overplayed the evilness of this character is. Yeah, it's comical. Also, there were times that I was just laughing.
It was a lot of eye rolling going on when I was watching.
And when she did kill the Grand Inquisitor, I was like, yeah, of course she did.
I don't think he's dead because he's supposed to appear in Rebels.
Well, there you go.
Which is set long after Obi-Wan. So,
but well, the point is like when she stabs him in the chest, I went, oh yeah, fair enough, yep.
Yeah, I don't think he's dead. Plus, also you've got a pretty decent actor. You've got a level of actor. What's his name? Rupert Friend, who is he's a level of actor who's up there, but not up there to be so famous that you're going to have him for one episode and then kill him off after basically a whole episode if you add up all of his screen time.
Richard E. Grant.
Well, yeah, but that was for one film. And yeah, he was wasted. He should have been Thrawn. In terms of timeline,
Richard E. Grant in Loki.
Oh yeah,
one episode.
Yeah, no, he. Well, the great thing is because of variants, like you can actually have him back, just as a different version of classic Loki. But the timeline, like that Grand Inquisitor, if he's actually dead, that is going to create a time paradox and the world will cease to exist and reality will cave in on itself because that is a paradox because he shouldn't be dead. He's in Rebels. Yeah. So that's weird. I'm sure they know their fans enough to do that and then be like, it's okay, we're going to bring him back because we know everyone's going to be shouting at the screen.
Yeah, we will see. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I do look forward to the next episodes and how the season unfolds.
Yeah.
But right now, it's this is good, but it's not amazing.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's not Mandalorian season 1.
No, very much.
And nothing has been Mandalorian season 1.
No. I mean, apart from I as I say, like I'm not going to compare it to Star Wars because we've compared it to all the Star Wars, but again to all of the Marvel stuff that's come out that those original TV series, Loki, it's not near Loki, it's not near Hawkeye. It's kind of Falcon and Winter Soldier territory.
I was going to say it's Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah. It's not bad. But here's something.
But we're 2 episodes in. So.
We're only 2 episodes in, but here's something to ponder. It's okay for something to be fine.
Okay. Yeah.
It's okay for something to be fine.
Yeah. Not everything has to be amazing. And there are other descriptors other than amazing.
Well, also, there are other descriptors other than best thing in the world or worst thing in the world. It's okay to
grey.
It's shades of grey.
There's 50 of them at least. So
that's the rumor.
Cool.
So yeah, okay. Well, we're excited for the rest of the season at least.
Yes, exactly. We'll see how it unfolds.
Well, good. Let's see what everyone else has to say about it. We've got nice people in here. We got Ephesus, DC Bradshaw, and Samros,
and Andy Aspian as well.
Andy, hey Andy, lovely to have you here. Oh yes, we haven't touched on DC Bradshaw brings up Liam Neeson, especially in terms of the Taken reference.
Well, no, and also the fact of the matter is like they specifically put in the scene where I'm going to teach you how to speak to Qui-Gon.
Yes.
So I mean.
And they have him asking for Qui-Gon, but he's not there. It's like he's clearly going to turn up.
That's clearly going to happen. So
can't be more telegraphed in. It's like
yeah. Like here's it's like that big sign as you drive into Vegas. Yeah. Qui-Gon is here.
He's coming. Qui-Gon is coming. It's Game of Thrones. Qui-Gon is coming.
Yep, exactly. No, I don't think there's any. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
He'll be here. So the Blade Runner-esque city of aliens made you long for a Farscape revival. I mean, it was to be honest, that bit sort of reminded me a little bit of Attack of the Clones, because that's,
the lower levels of Coruscant.
Yeah, that's that sort of thing. Shame they didn't bring back Jason Isaacs. Maybe he doesn't like the idea of that kind of prosthetics. Jason Isaacs, who did he play in Star Wars?
I can't remember.
Was Jason Isaacs in Star Wars? I don't recall.
Didn't he play Malfoy?
Yes, that's Malfoy. Yeah. I don't recall Jason Isaacs in. Oh my god, I'm fully blanking on that. But
yeah,
no.
So am I. He voiced.
Oh, he was the voice of the Grand
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor. Oh well, there we go. So that was in Rebels then. Yeah, I mean, I sort of see what you mean there. It's they're walking a weird line because they cast Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. But they get this guy to come in to do the body work of Cad Bane, but they get the original voice of Cad Bane to do the voice of Cad Bane. And then you have a very capable actor like Jason Isaacs, but you don't cast him as the Grand Inquisitor, and you cast another British actor instead. It's a very unusual thing.
Yeah.
But hey, we don't work for Lucasfilm. We have no say in the matter. Don't trust us. Don't trust us to make Star Wars, because believe me, we can talk some shit about it, sure, but make it.
Excuse me. I think you'll find my pitch for the Force Awakens last week was on point. That was how the story should have gone.
So, do you want to move on to the next section? Do you want to
go on then?
Do you want to have a sodium callback, as I'm going to call it?
Okay.
Okay, we can call it a sodium callback. So yeah, this is a sodium callback. Here we go.
Salt, how much do you need? Salt, well, just a pinch for me. Sodium chloride in my inventory, where we're reading the news and it's a sodium story.
So, remember a few weeks ago where we talked about John Boyega potentially joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh yeah.
As Blue Marvel. Well, from our friends at Giant Freaking Robot, they have another exclusive colon for us.
Go on, bring it on.
And it says that John Boyega has filmed a secret Marvel appearance. So it's not just he's in talks. He's filmed a secret appearance. And it's from one of their trusted and proven sources, which they won't name, of course. But there's so many talks about what it could possibly be. They're saying that it could be another Eternal, could be an Inhuman, a variant of Bruce Banner, a variant of Tony Stark, a variant of Black Panther.
So they're basically throwing everything against the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah, or a variant of Drax, or... But an interesting thing that's come up, so the Blue Marvel character that we talked about, that's definitely in the running here. But another character that's kind of interesting, because it turns out in 2014, John Boyega voiced an interest on Twitter for wanting to play the character of Nova. Oh. Those tweets have since been deleted. So what do you think?
I could see that working. I'd be happy with that. Interesting, the tweets have been deleted. I don't know if it means anything.
No, I don't think it means anything. I mean, I'm sure he probably some people just delete all their tweets. I don't think I've ever done that, like deleted a whole bunch of tweets. Have you?
Yeah, just in case I become famous.
I don't think I've ever. I think I may have done only like one, maybe two crap jokes that I can't really remember that maybe have the potential to be perceived as problematic.
Listen, I've been tweeting since 2007. There's no way I'm going back through my timeline to try and find stuff to delete. Like, it would just take way too long. John Boyega in MCU, we've talked about this before. I'd happily see it. I think he's great. I think of stuff Attack of the Block is just like amazing. He's great in that.
Yes. Do you think though he's actually filmed something though?
No.
No, not even
after.
What
would he like? Well, actually, let's see. So it's not going to be Thor: Love and Thunder, because we've seen. I mean,
don't know. There was some surprises in the cameos of Doctor Strange.
Apparently, everyone was going to be in Marvel Multiverse of Madness. And to be fair, we did get John Krasinski as
we got Anson Mount as Black Bolt. We had Captain Carter, and we had Jean-Luc Picard. That was his character's name, wasn't it?
Yeah. But the point is this always happens. Like, it's just that throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks. Character-wise, Nova would be good.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll tell you what I think. I watched Eternals again today.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first time I've rewatched it since my first viewing of it.
Yeah.
And my first viewing of it is like,
you loved it. Yeah.
I didn't love it. I just thought it was quite good. I thought it was better than most people were making it out to be, and I thought it was actually quite enjoyable and did quite well.
Sure.
Bringing together a huge cast of characters, basically an Avengers, in one movie without all the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
So I rewatched it. And I'm going to double down on what I think. I think Eternals is decent. I think it's fine. Like, I don't understand people's problems with it. I actually get really angry when I hear people criticizing it for being woke. Because as soon as people hear criticizing it for being woke,
The
I go,
problem
well,
to me is not that it's woke. The problem that I find is just it's a little bit long, boring, and the two leads are absolutely of charisma free. That's my
I mean,
issue.
I disagree. I think it's the length it needs to be. I think it's enjoyable in parts.
Richard Madden is crap in it. I'm sorry.
I will say Richard Madden's crap in most things. He doesn't have a lot of personality. You know when he's the best is when he's fucking Taron Egerton. That's when he's best. When he's just playing a bad person, he's good.
Okay.
But he's not when he's playing. He doesn't have a lot of nuance in his performances.
Yeah, that's. The whole love story between him and Gemma Chan's character. I was much more interested in the rest of the rest of the film.
I like Cersei, and I liked her journey in it as well. I think it was a decent movie, and I'm looking forward to the Eternals returning. And if John Boyega is another Eternal, he could be another version of Icarus.
He could. But there's also, not to just like lump him in because he's just happens to be a black guy, but I mean, there's also the potential for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. There's potential for that too. I wonder if, because we've talked about, should they have recast Chadwick Boseman, and in some respects, I think they probably should have. I think they probably jumped the gun a bit to go, no, we'll never recast him, and that's a knee-jerk reaction because I do think the character is. I think even Chadwick Boseman would have wanted it to be recast, to be honest.
Well, I think the funny thing is that they can now turn around and say we're not recasting the character. He's from another time.
He's a variant, yeah.
He's a variant, yeah.
What would you think of John Boyega? Because he can do a decent African accent. What would you think of John Boyega as Black Panther?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's agile enough.
I think he is.
I think he's very brute force, which
I think he's athletic. I think he's athletic. I think that's one of the things that also pissed him off about Star Wars because he did some good fight scenes. He could have done so much more if he'd done some Jedi training.
Yeah.
I think that's something that was sadly lacking in his character of Finn. But
I think that was something that was lacking in the sequels was just writing.
Yeah, that too.
Apart from Last Jedi, and again, I was offended. It was the most interesting of the three, and it actually attempted some character work. So
I don't disagree with you on that. Don't disagree with you on that at all. We've got a comment in the chat here saying that John Boyega would have made a good British Blade because that's a good point because Blade was originally a British character.
This is true. Yeah, he'd be good.
He would have been good as that. Yeah.
But we got the amazing Mahershala Ali.
Saying that though, as much as I love John Boyega, after watching him in Pacific Rim Uprising.
Yeah, but no one looked good in Pacific Rim Uprising.
No, but he was trying to go for a Chris Pratt kind of vibe, like the quippiness,
and that's not a vibe anyone should go for.
Not really. I mean, it works.
No one should try to emulate Chris Pratt. Full stop.
No, but it works for him as Star-Lord. Let's be honest, it does work for him as Star-Lord, but it doesn't work for John Boyega to be. I don't think he's got the natural chops for it, unless he's got decent writing behind it.
Yep.
And I can imagine that some of that stuff is improv, like because Chris Pratt came from the Parks and Rec kind of style of making things, and he had that improvisational, off the cuff kind of stuff. I don't think John Boyega quite, certainly in Pacific Rim Uprising, it didn't work in his favor, and of course it was a crap film anyway. But I think. He certainly needs a project with really good writing if he's going to return back to something of the nerd nature. He needs some quality writing.
We shall see, and excellent. Thank you for the story.
You are welcome. It's a burden, but I carry it well.
Salt, how much do you need? Salt, well, just a pinch for me. Sodium chloride in my inventory, where we're reading the news and it's a sodium story.
We should really have like like a video
Yeah.
when we're playing those.
Well, we have a video for Sodium Story, so I should probably just add that to the scenes list.
Have it as a scene, and then
Yeah.
just, yeah.
I'll get on that for next week. But
Yeah,
we need
yeah.
a countdown video, an intro video.
I mean, we need to be much more organized. We kind of just went, we should do this thing. Yeah, let's just do it.
Let's just
Didn't
do
think
it.
about despite the fact that we got like a good couple of years streaming experience between the two of us, we haven't really leaned on those skills to set this up. So
Speak for yourself.
Yay, us. Oh, well done. You made some overlays.
An overlay.
An overlay. Yeah, an overlay. So there you go. I love the fact that we start every stream with, is it on?
Oh wait, are we here? We're live.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah. Are you muted, mate? You're muted. Right.
muted.
We got to get that.
Oh, listen!
out.
Before we went live, my audio interface crapped out, so that was
It
fun.
literally did. So happy days. Shall we do the last section of the podcast?
Well, let's do that thing of ranking some stuff.
Let's list shit.
Yeah.
When your brain is in a twist, cause you've got to make a list of the best things of all time, or the worst things we can find. It's a fair and fabulous, phenomenal, fantastic five.
Excellent stuff.
So we did that thing of, what are we doing this week?
Yeah, we plan to approach this like really professional and be like, let's plan out like 8 weeks worth. So that we're never stuck.
We did 4. We had 4 in the pocket.
We had 4, and then now we're back to old ways of like
What are
3
we
hours before going, what should we do?
What are we doing? But this is an interesting one, because this is a little bit different to stuff that we've ranked, because the stuff that we're going to rank today is something that could come into fruition within the next 4 weeks.
I so want my fan. Can we just get into it, right?
Let's get into it.
Please.
So we're ranking characters that we would like to see from the prequels or Clone Wars to appear in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So characters.
I'm desperate for my characters to appear.
Well, okay. Well, do you want to get started with your first one? Come on.
Yeah,
come
let's
at me with
start.
your number 5.
Let's start. My number 5. My number 5 is Boss Nass. I just want to see if he's still the leader of the Gun Guns. How did that work out politically for him? The integration of the Gun Guns and then the Nubians. Did it work out? Are they still friends, or is there a little bit of tension still going on there? Is Boss Nass still the leader, or has he been replaced by a more shadowy figure? What's happened there? What's happened to Boss Nass? I want to know. Did it turn out to be more of a Silvio Berlusconi type character, and lots of corruption and orgies under the sea? I don't know. I need to know though.
Where did he put the glowing ball he got at the end of Phantom Menace?
This is what we need. These are the answers we need. We need Boss Nass to appear in the next 4 episodes.
Okay.
That's my number 5.
It's a good number 5. Okay.
What's your number 5?
If I'm going to say the name correctly, it's Sabe. And
Sabe, yeah.
This is a character who's been played by 2 different actresses, Keira Knightley and Rose Byrne. For those who might not know, it is the decoy that Queen Amidala would use. So,
despite the fact they sound completely different.
yeah, and also not look the same in the slightest.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's fine. We ignore it. But yeah, the decoy of Amidala, the decoy of Padme. So what do you? I mean, oh no, I've just realised something. She died.
So you want to go to her grave? That's what you're saying.
Sure. I've just realised she died.
Sure,
I've just realised that's her opening scene in Attack of the Clones. It's fine.
Sure.
It's fine.
We're gonna go visit her grave. Cool.
No,
that works.
No,
That
it could still work because
She comes back with spider legs, a la Darth Maul.
But I was going to say like some kind of hologram, like a message, some kind of cameo,
Brilliant.
Some kind of message that Leia would have. That would be awesome, actually. If Leia had this thing, like this hologram. So yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I stand by my choice.
Okay.
That's my
Good
number 5. Thank God it was number 5 and not my number 1. But yeah, go on. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Watto. I want to know what's happened to Watto on Tatooine. Right, we're on Tatooine. Let's head over to Mos Eisley.
No,
Is he got?
wouldn't it be more interesting if he wasn't on Tatooine anymore?
Well, there we go. He's actually started off his own business.
Yeah.
He's with Quark. Now he's crossed universes, and he's now opened up a chain of like quarks. No, he's made it to Coruscant, man. He's made it to Coruscant. He's now fixing stuff in Coruscant. Like that's I want to see.
Why would he be with the Ferengi just because you want to hole him up with all the other Jewish
I
stereotypes
want
in
so many
sci-fi?
more stereotypical characters in my life. Like I want some more racially charged stereotypical characters. Put them all into a box and hide that box away under "Do not open." Should never have happened, right? But I want to know what happened to what we left him on Tatooine. He'd been screwed over by the Jedi.
Yeah.
His business was gone. He was absolutely destitute. Did he manage to work it? Is he? I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. He's the Del Boy of the galaxy. That's what I would like to see.
Nice.
So I want to see him back. I want to see Watto back.
Okay. I like it.
Okay. What's your number 4?
My number 4 was something I thought we got, and then it turned out it wasn't.
Go on.
That's Commander Cody. Because that would be an interesting... Because I have a...
Cody did execute Order 66. So.
No. But with that clone trooper that we saw in Obi-Wan, I wonder if that they may have like deactivated it after a time, or
they all look the same to me anyway. So.
But I wonder if you're so racist, Rick. But the idea of yes, they've executed it, but then they have to kind of live with it. Like, so they might not.
Well, no, that's a big thing in Rebels.
No, well, the ones that we see in Rebels, if I can't remember, it's been a long time since I watched.
They touch on it as well, and they touch it like they touch on it in the comics as well, and it's they have to live with it. A lot of them feel guilty after doing it.
But because Obi-Wan and Cody had such, they were quite tight. They were you know, they fought alongside each
it was
other.
like Rex and
but Rex, didn't he have his chip removed though?
No, he executed Order 66, and then whilst he was in the middle of it, he got cured. So,
okay. But yeah, anyway, I just think there could be something interesting with Obi-Wan meeting Cody and Cody being like, I'm sorry, or you know, I couldn't help it, and Obi-Wan going, I forgive you, I understand you, it wasn't your fault, and all of that. That would be something, because that's something I thought was quite interesting when Obi-Wan did give him money. He didn't look at him with hate. He looked at the whole situation like, man, we're all just so fucked. It's you know, so that's Cody's on the list.
Excellent.
I'm running out of characters.
You've got some really good sort of characters here, like so far. Sabe is interesting. It'd be an interesting one to do, and definitely Cody. That's good. I like that. That's like serious and going down that side there.
Yeah.
So what have I done? Sort of boss nass and what? Like,
Well, you haven't seen the rest of where I'm going. But
I think I need to be a bit more serious. Okay.
Number 3, please.
Yeah, my number 3 is Dexter Jetster. I want us to go visit Dexter Jetster on Coruscant. Let's head to Coruscant. Let's head to the diner. Let's see some dodgy CGI hugging again. Right, I want to see that again because that was badly done. That CGI.
Yeah, but he's a great character.
He's a great character. Obi-Wan.
Well, what do you know?
No. I haven't seen one of these since my time. I want to see that. I want to see it. Yeah. Even if it's just one scene, just Obi-Wan, shh, it's Ben now. Brilliant. That's my number 3.
No, I love it. And again, all these characters, they could pop up anywhere. They don't have to be in the place you first saw them. So this is what's great.
I'm being super serious with my list.
Well, my next one is a little bit serious because this is a character. My number 3.
Number 3.
This is a character who was done a little bit dirty in the video game Force Unleashed, which is now no longer canon. So we can do something with this, because everyone always, when they think of their favorite Twi'lek, they do think of Ahsoka, but I used to, really want to see more of Shak Ti.
You need to stop Googling Rule 34s of her.
Never. But the Shakti she's just one of those characters that you just didn't see enough of. I don't even think she spoke in the prequels. So they could do something with that. Is she related to Ahsoka in some way? Because they look very similar in terms, because not all Twi'leks look the same. That's the thing I found with Star Wars. You know, you've got some with normal skin, yellow skin, blue skin, brown skin. You know, they've got different races. Who'd know? But the opportunity to do something with another Jedi that he does find, I just think, and it would just redeem that character somewhat, because she was severely underutilized in the prequels, other than, doesn't she look cool? Yeah, she looks cool.
Yeah,
Want to know more about her? I want to know more about her. No,
That's true.
Never got it. So I think there's just something we can do with her, fingers crossed, maybe. I don't know.
Yep.
Come on then, number 2.
Like it. This one's impossible, but I really want it to happen.
Okay.
But I'm going to say it's impossible. However, Rebels has established that they can travel through time.
Yes. The world between worlds and all of that. Yes.
The world between worlds, yeah?
Yes.
Can we bring back Plo Koon?
Who's to say he died?
He was in a jet. He was in a X-wing and he got blown up.
Yeah. Who's to say he died?
But I want Plo Koon back.
Yeah,
He is. Sorry, this is. I'm going serious now with my list. Like this is as we head to my last 2, we are on the serious ones here. But I would genuinely give anything to have Plo Koon back. I think he was a kick-ass Jedi. He had some of the best storylines in the Clone Wars. Like he's just brilliant. He's just badass. So please, can we have some Plo Koon? Can we find him? Bring him back. That's what I want. That's what I want.
That's good.
I'd love to see. I'd love Obi-Wan him to come up. He has been in. Yeah, maybe he survived and he's been in hiding, and Obi-Wan comes across him, and it's just like a brilliant reveal. Bring it on.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, make him like Deadpool scarred and all of that. I mean,
yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah,
it would work.
Yeah,
it would work.
Plo Koon. That's number 2.
Just quickly say that I've been corrected. Ahsoka and Shakti are not Twi'leks. They're Togrutas. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did think that for a second, but I was
my mistake. They all look the same to me.
Racist. So what's your number 2?
My number 2. I have delved a little into the silly with this one.
Okay.
Jar Jar. I do think we need some closure with Jar Jar. I really do.
What I love about Jar Jar's character arc across the 3 prequels is they went heavy with the character, going like, this is the character that we want kids to love. That we want. This is the character that's going to be the hook and the funny one, and this is going to be the new Chewbacca. Right, this is that. That's what they were that's what they were aiming for. Let's face it, that's what they were aiming for with Jar Jar Binks, right? And they're like, and the reception against him was so much hate, and as it goes on, his role gets reduced more and more until they do 2 things. One, he's responsible for the Empire coming into existence.
He's the one who gives the Chancellor emergency powers. Yeah, it's him.
And they reduce his role in the last movie, in the Revenge of the Sith. They reduce his screen time to one sad look.
Yeah, at the funeral. That's it.
That's all his screen time.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think there is actually. I mean, yes, I'm saying it's silly, but there is something kind of interesting you could do with that, because that's something you can focus on. The guilt that he gave the Chancellor the emergency powers. And then if you were to tell him, if he knows about Lord Vader but doesn't know it's Anakin, and then if he found out,
oh my God, Annie!
If he found out,
God,
that he would. But I whether Ahmed Best would be willing to go back to that character, I doubt he would, because that character ruined his entire life. But I think there's something intriguing that could be done with maybe not redeeming Jar Jar, but just at least giving some proper closure.
Yeah, no, I actually agree with you on that. I do actually think, even for fans, I think Jar Jar deserves closure.
Yeah. I never thought that I would say, I want to see Jar Jar Binks in a Star Wars project again. But here I am.
No. But I'm genuine. I would genuinely like to see this happen. Like, I would.
Yeah.
100% would.
Yeah.
So,
it's a silly choice, but it could be, if done right, it could be done brilliantly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It'd be difficult.
I mean, it would be very difficult. I mean, you're asking for a moon on a stick, and that's no moon.
Right.
Okay. What's your number one?
Okay, my number one is, it's like, this is literally the only right answer to this Fantastic Five. This is the character we need to see back. We need to know what happened to this character. We need to know. The character is a Lansley's Bagano. And we need to know, after meeting Obi-Wan, did he go home and rethink his life? Did he stop selling death sticks? That's what we need to know. We need that answered. And there's no other character more important to Obi-Wan. No character that he's made a bigger impression on than a Lansley's Bagano from Attack of the Clones.
Wow.
Hear me out. This guy went from programming the Lady in Red on the Nebuchadnezzar, the training program,
Wow.
to selling death sticks on Coruscant. How bad did he fall? I mean, he died, but how bad did he fall?
He grew up in Summer Bay, if I remember this correctly.
He needs some redemption. We need to know that he made something of his life. Maybe he discovered something good inside him. Maybe he's joined the rebellion. We don't know, but we need to know. And I just would love to have a moment, maybe at the end of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just one scene where Obi-Wan is there and he just feels a tap on his shoulder. And he turns around, and there is a Lansley's Bagano who hugs him and says, I rethought my life. Thank you.
That should be the final scene of this season.
That's what I want.
I love it.
That's my number one.
Love it. The Death Sticks guy. Amazing.
The Lansley Bagano. He has a name. Say his name.
It's the Death Sticks guy. That's forever what he will be. My number one. It's one of those. It's if you have Plo Koon, I have Mace Windu. It's you know, there's not much more that can be added.
He's definitely going to come back with spider legs, isn't he?
A spider arm, just one, just the one spider.
He's going to come back. He's going to. If Darth Maul comes back with spider legs, Mace Windu's going to come back with raptor legs. 100% calling it now. Just calling it now.
But it's fun. Like, you have Mace Windu. And also, like, can you imagine them teaming up to go after Vader? Because he's like, he took my hand. And Vader's like, he took my legs and my arms and I have to wear this. You
formed the Avengers.
He's like, you don't have to bathe in a Bacta tank. You don't have to do any of that bullshit. But I just, I would rather see Mace Windu arrive in a Obi-Wan series than giving him his own series. We don't need a Mace Windu series. I know that's something that's being talked about. We don't need that. Just have him appear. Then have Vader kill him, complete the job. That would be great. Have Vader properly kill Mace Windu.
Yep.
Amazing. That would be brilliant. That would, I wouldn't need to have sex for years if I saw that. It'd be great.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Thanks for that share.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. Don't kink shame me.
Oh, great number one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done.
This was a nice.
I mean, still no Lansley's Bagano, but it's good.
Oh, good Fantastic Five.
Thank you.
When your brain is in a twist, cause you've got to make a list of the best things of all time, or the worst things we can find. It's a fair and fabulous, phenomenal, Fantastic Five.
Well, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
It was a good, silly fun.
I'm looking forward to Star Wars: A Lansley's bagging out.
Well, there isn't. I've got an interesting comment in the chat here saying that in DC Bradshaw's headcanon, the spice dealer girl in episode 2 of Obi-Wan was the daughter of the Death Stick dude.
No, because he went and rethought his life. He's gonna have made something of himself.
That may have happened after his daughter. That may have happened long after that.
Well, I think he's made something of himself, so I want to know what that something is. But you know what? We're not going to find out we're not going to find out in Obi-Wan, I don't think. And we're not going to find out.
What if every character that we talked about turns up?
Oh my God, we'll be like, seriously, you can carry us around on your shoulders like gods.
What if
we will replace giant freaking robot.
What if it's like the end of season 8 in Scrubs where Obi-Wan's walking down a corridor and it's just all the prequel characters on either side?
Jango Fett with his head in his hands. Oh, there we go. And maybe, we'll find that at the end of the show. But this is the end of the podcast.
It is.
Thank you so much for listening and watching. If you've been watching it live on YouTube, we appreciate you being there in the audience and in the chat. If you have enjoyed this podcast, there's a couple of things that we ask. If you are watching this on YouTube, go ahead, go hit that subscribe and notification bell. Hit them. Get subscribed to this channel. We'd really, really appreciate it. If you're listening on a podcast, if you're listening to the audio of this, go ahead and hit subscribe on whatever platform you are listening on, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else you can. Anchor. There you go. Anchor's a real one.
Not Amazon Prime. I did find that out. I looked us up on Amazon Podcast. We weren't there.
We're not there.
No.
I'll sort that out. I'll speak to Jeff. We'll get it sorted out. So yeah, make sure you're following us on all the platforms, all the various platforms that you can listen to this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really, really enjoy it, leave a review, get a comment put a comment in the video on YouTube, or give it a like as well. That'd be lovely. Or leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Now, if you do it on the podcast, Apple Podcasts, it helps us climb the podcast charts and we can get more listeners, which would be always lovely. And if you want to do anything else as well, you can tell other people about this podcast. You could tell them in real life, or you could tell them online. Where can they find us online?
They can find us on Facebook. They can find us on Twitter. They can find us on Instagram. Both Rick and I have a Twitch channel that we stream from regularly. You can talk to us in the chat there if you wanted to get our thoughts on something. Come and interact. We interact back. It's a good time. It's a good time had by all. Other things you can do, because with Facebook and Twitter, not so much Instagram, but you can, if you see the link, you see the post when we say next episode out, just hit the share button. Just hit the share button, hit that retweet button. Just spread the word. It does help. Comment on it. All of these things, engagement is always key to fight the mighty algorithm. That's always the thing that we need to do. You can support us on Patreon as well, by the way. It's just, just throw us a quid here or there. That's just something that can help us, maybe pay someone to make an intro video for our YouTube channel or something like that. That's kind of what we're looking to do. That would be very nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it just? So that's what you can do. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're both on Twitch. There's a Patreon. And as Rick has already said, we're doing this on YouTube now. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified when we go live. And another thing, hit the like on the video. Hit like, because again, that helps fight that algorithm. It really does. It does. There we go.
Well, thanks again for listening, folks. We will be back next week.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Now, welcome to the after show.
Now the after show, yes. Thank you, people, for joining us tonight. DC Bradshaw, Ephesus, and Sam Ross.
I'm going to stop recording right now.
Yes.
Save this on Logic. But yes, thank you for joining in the chat, people who have joined in the chat. It's been lovely having you here and getting involved. How are you finding this, by the way? Us streaming it on YouTube.
Yeah, is it?
We'd love your feedback, as always. So, but yeah, thank you, Ephesus DC and Chef Sam Ross. It was lovely having you here. Hopefully, we're going to keep doing this and hopefully grow it. Yeah. Now, actually, should we tell people, because we did say that we were only going to do 8 and then have a 4-week break, and then a 4-week break.
Yes.
However, we've decided against that.
Well, only for this run, because essentially Obi-Wan is running for another 4 weeks. There's 4 more episodes. So that would mean that the final episode would air during our break. And we'd miss it by a week, and then we wouldn't really get to talk about the finale for like a month after we've.
So we figured that we're just going to keep recording until we get to the finale of Obi-Wan, and then we'll take a break.
Yeah. So then should we do a 3-week break or a 4-week break? I don't know.
I think stick to the 4-week break.
Stick to the 4-week break.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
But that's what we're doing, just because Obi-Wan and stuff.
I am looking forward to seeing how it unfolds. I am. I know. I do worry that I sound really negative about it. I'm not that. I'm just. I think it's flawed, but I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm just. I am looking forward to seeing how it unfolds.
Oh yeah. I think. Look, I think we're all in the same. Look, I've looked around online, and there are some people that really, really like it, but there are criticisms to be made. I know I touched on the editing is very strange.
I agree.
And the fact that 3 grown men couldn't chase down a 10-year-old girl twice.
Oh, I meant to bring that up. Yeah, absolutely. That was a weird scene.
It didn't quite work. Scene. It didn't quite work. So there's.
I was like, no, she would have just been snatched. Like, yeah. Didn't make any sense. If anything, they just did that to have a body count. So it was a very strange. I will say, the Obi-Wan fight scenes so far have been brilliant.
Oh yeah,
when Obi-Wan himself has been fighting, it has been really, really well done, and he hasn't even got his lightsaber out yet.
But he does shoot like a stormtrooper. He missed a hell of a lot.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, but it's not. The lightsaber is the weapon of choice. It's a weapon for a more civilized time.
True.
So you have to bear that in mind. What are they saying in the chat? Thesis says it's always a delight. Thank you. Dee's loving watching it live. By the way, what did you think of the She-Hulk trailer? Barring the dodgy CG, which I think will be fixed for the actual series itself.
I can also get over the dodgy CG. It's that CG is CG.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I really liked it. I think it's going to be Ally McBeal in the MCU, which I'm good with that because I like Ally McBeal.
It's horny Hulk. It's horny Hulk as well. Like she's getting some.
No, he's great.
Yeah,
I love Tatiana Maslany. I think she's. I've spoken to you about her to you before. I know you haven't seen.
Well, we talked about this in 2020 when she was rumored in the cast, and you were really singing her praises.
And I was really excited about it. And I think the trailer's proven me right. I think she suits it really, really. I think she suits the role really, really well just from the look of the trailer.
Yeah.
But I think she's an amazing actress.
Things of note about it though. When did Hulk get his arm back?
Yeah, so that's healed, hasn't it? So how far after Endgame is this based? That's the next question. Now, we haven't got an answer on how she has become She-Hulk. Now, obviously, in the comics and the general origin story for her, it's a blood transfusion. So I guess we're going to find out why she gets that blood transfusion.
What if they twist it and she gives him a blood transfusion to fix his arm, but she gets a little bit infected or something? I don't know.
They don't...
maybe they use her as a human dialysis machine. I don't know.
They don't like hook them up and then like put like a tube between the two of them. Like they take the blood out. Okay.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing. This is why I don't write for Marvel.
Yeah, we know someone who does.
Oh yeah. Well, no, you know someone. I know of someone who does.
Yeah.
You know someone who does, and that's a TV show that's going to come out soon that we're going to have to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk about that. I like the look of it as well.
Yeah. We also not really talked about the Thor: Love and Thunder trailers either.
We've not. The second trailer didn't add much more apart from more
Christian
Lady
Bale.
Thor, which I thought was
really
really
added
good.
more Christian Bale. That's what that added.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah. No, that was good actually.
Christian Bale is such a serious actor. So to see him amongst that,
MCU, it's
not just the MCU, but a Taika Waititi Thor movie. That's going to be.
I'm hoping we're not going to end up with a Christopher Eccleston again. Such a great actor.
I doubt it.
I seriously doubt it. But I will say the trailer did change the feel of the movie a little bit from the first trailer.
Yeah,
I think it just had more depth, really.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it. Jane Foster as Thor looks amazing. And I think she's got that little bit of I think she's going to be great. I'm really excited.
The interesting thing, I think this is me speculating into spoiler territory, but I say spoilers like this is me speculating, so it's probably not spoilers. But if you watch in the trailer, because in one of the trailers you see Zeus with his thunderbolt,
Yep,
and then we see Russell Crowe. But that scene, you flick too hard, damn it! It's brilliant, brilliant. But later, you do see a scene with Tessa Thompson, Valkyrie, fighting Gore, and she's got Zeus's thunderbolt. So, and if he is Gore the God Killer, I don't think we're going to be seeing Russell Crowe's Zeus in any future MCU project.
Well, no, again, variants.
True.
So this,
True.
I'm not sure how I like. I've spoken to you about this before. I've spoken to you about this before about the MCU and variants, and now like it feels it could be the Achilles heel of the MCU because you're not invested in the characters anymore because you're like, well, they can just bring them back in another form.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it is a way of exploring old characters in a new way or recasting. So, for example, look, people are going to clamor for Iron Man and Captain America again. We're going to want to see those characters again.
Yeah.
So we can have variants of them. But I don't know. I'm on the fence with it. And I guess like because it's such a new thing in the Phase 4, I'm interested. You know, and again, I'm working my way through Phase 4 right now. So I'm currently on. I've just finished Eternals, which means the next thing is No Way Home. So
fantastic. Well, you're going to have a great time. You know it.
I know I am. But then that's. I would argue, like, yes, Loki was the first thing that went into the multiverse.
But it didn't though, because it was all about stopping the multiverse from existing.
Right. Exactly. It sort of talked about the multiverse, and we saw one episode where we had the variant Lokis. Whereas this, like, No Way Home is where the multiverse finally kind of kicks off, really.
Yeah.
And so I'm interested. Like, because right now I like Shang-Chi still holds up. It's still
it's brilliant.
It's the coolest MCU movie to
I loved
date.
it. Yeah, I love Shang-Chi.
It's great. It's fantastic. And then again, I'll die on this hill. I think the Eternals is good. Like, I think it's enjoyable.
I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's. But this is the thing. It's okay to be fine.
Yeah, no, absolutely,
fine.
Absolutely. But I don't think it's terrible.
No.
And I've heard people like criticize it, going, "Oh, it's all woke because it's got like a gay couple in it, and it's because the lead is and stuff like that." And I'm like, you're on the wrong side of history at that point, right? Just like that.
That's some of the stuff that makes the film good to me.
Exactly.
That stuff worked. That stuff worked for me.
Do you know? I want us to talk about 1 second actually about our industry. For 1 second. Have you watched it yet?
Watched what?
Gervais.
No. Here's the thing. I remember when the last Gervais special came to Netflix. I can't remember what it was called. I watched it and I did find it funny, but it didn't have the transphobic humor that I've been.
It's not just transphobic, mate. There's racism in there as well.
Yeah. So,
and he's hiding it behind irony. He's trying to say, "Oh, people are missing the irony." And if you have to say that you're being ironic. You're not being ironic. You are trying to use...
It's the thing of, if he's saying that, then he's more or less explaining the joke. And if you have to explain the joke, then it's not a funny thing.
And I think there's been some stuff that's been annoying me recently. So there's a joke about Chinese people in there.
I read that, and that is just like
racist.
That's like 70s fucking
racist
humor.
And then obviously there's all the transphobic stuff as well.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like there's some comedians have come out, like Nish Kumar have come out and criticized him. Robin Ince, who used to work with him.
That was a wonderful piece that he wrote. That was wonderful. That's
really criticized him and actually said, like, it's an interesting one because it doesn't attack him, so to speak, the same way that other people have, but it's pointing out that, mate, you are on a wrong path right now.
Well, yeah, it's just saying he's incredibly misguided. It's like he's believing his own hype. And what was the thing that Robin Ince said, which was he thinks he's punching up to a liberal elite when he really doesn't seem to realize he is punching down to a minority. He thinks because this is Gervais's.
Well, he's completely on the wrong side of history. That's what's happening right now.
But his explanation is that he's attacking the activist ideology,
which again, that's still not good. Like that's still not good, because that's the same people who back in the civil rights movement attacked activists, going, well, we're not attacking black people. We're attacking the activists who are trying to make sure black people have their rights. Like
here's what you should do with Gervais. This is what you should do and see his reaction to it. Is make jokes about, and I don't condone this. I don't condone this. This is not me saying that I will do this, but this is what you would have to do to see if you could make Ricky Gervais understand the problems that he's creating, because he's an activist. He's an animal activist. That is what he is. So if you want to make jokes about murdering his pets, if you want to make jokes about eating his pets, if you want to make jokes about making him murder his pets, you know, all of these horrific things, mutilating them, cutting off their legs or anything like that.
Pets don't have feelings.
Pets don't have feelings. Animals don't have feelings. They're not real. Like, to quote Brassai, animals aren't real. They're made of string. But all of that stuff. See how he would react to that sort of stuff, and he'd probably be like, "Oh, that's brutal. That's horrible." Or is he going to stand up and go, "Oh, well, it's just a joke"? It's like, we're not attacking animals. We're attacking activist ideology. You know, he's an activist as well, and it's kind of weird that he doesn't see that, because he is an activist. I'm
going to say something might be controversial, but I don't think it is.
Which is,
and it'd be interesting to see if anyone agrees with me here. Ricky Gervais is our generation's Jim Davidson. That's what's happening right now.
In some respects,
no.
yes.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
No, the difference being is that Ricky Gervais is a hell of a lot more successful. He has a much more impressive back catalogue than Jim Davidson. Jim Davidson made his career off of telling those sorts of jokes. Ricky Gervais didn't make his career off telling those sorts of jokes. He didn't. He was a bit controversial, a bit of a dick, as his character of Ricky Gervais was in the 11 o'clock show, and then with the David Brent character in The Office, which, again, some people like. I didn't mind The Office. I quite liked it. I definitely saw, because people would see David Brent as Ricky Gervais. It was like, it's a character. He was acting in those scenes. There's a whole different argument going on there. But Jim Davidson never had the level of success that Ricky Gervais had. And that's what makes this actually kind of worse, is that Ricky Gervais now has a louder mouthpiece than Jim Davidson had, and is using that power for evil, not good. And that's why I think it's actually worse than Jim Davidson, the situation.
So what I was going to say is, like, Jim Davidson was a household name back in like the 90s, 80s, 90s. Think Big Break.
Big Break, yeah. I used to love Big Break.
Yeah, exactly.
But I used to love it for John Virgo, not Jim Davidson.
I did not know who Jim Davidson was in terms of his previous career, in terms of his career as a stand-up. I did not know it. All I knew was Big Break. And I guarantee there are people who go, they've watched Extras, they've watched The Office, they've watched Afterlife, yeah? And that's what they know Ricky Gervais for. And then they say, oh, Ricky Gervais is also a stand-up comedian, and he's got this special. I'll watch that. And suddenly it's like, you're getting... And you're going like, well, I admire Ricky Gervais. If he's saying these things, then I should. Anyway, I'm sorry to derail the conversation, conversation of this, because it kind of riled me up. And the only reason I brought it up is because of when I hear people criticize the Eternals or even Star Trek these days for being too woke.
I mean, that's
just
stupid.
like
it's just so stupid. That's
A, so stupid, and B, like, especially Star Trek, and B, like, it's. Yeah, the people who do that are on the wrong side of history.
Because the people do, when someone brings up the Star Trek thing, is like, oh, Star Trek goes where it's never boldly gone, woke politics, and you're like, and you use the prime example is the episode where there's the people that's white on the left side of their face and black on the right side of their face that's having a war with the people that are black on the left side of their face and white on the right side of their face.
Yeah.
But people are like,
you couldn't make it more black and white. Why?
But there are the people that argue against that, going, oh no, that's just a humor a humorful way of talking about that sort of stuff. They want to write it off as a dismissive joke kind of thing.
What about Uhura and Kirk?
Not just that, you've got a Russian on the ship who that's whilst the Cold War is going on, fine, let's cast a Russian to show that in the future we're going to be past all of that bullshit. You're gonna have it's just it's so, and then they try and argue that it was never woke when it was the most woke thing on the TV in the 60s.
Will Riker was trying to sleep with trans people in episode with non-binary people in early seasons. It just really, really angers me. It's anytime people bring up certain nerd stuff has gone too woke. It's just it's the one that annoys me as well is Hermione's not black. It's well, she could be.
Weirdly, I think and listen, we all know how much of a
no, I know. That aside,
but she did say herself
the way that she was written.
Yeah, she just had curly hair. They never talked about her skin color. Yeah, she just had curly hair.
Could be black. There's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's such a weird. The whole all these geeky things have gone woke. Doctor Who has gone woke, and again, Doctor Who's another one that's dealt with social issues over over
this
decades.
Was a funny one though. This was an interesting one, which actually I kind of agreed with. So there's this guy called Mark Bernardin. He's I don't know. He did work on Picard season 2, so he's kind of in my bad books a little bit. But I saw an interview with him recently, and it turns out he sort of stepped away from Picard season 2, and then didn't like some of the choices that they went with in the end. Anyway, but he's a black guy. He's a producer. He's a writer. The one argument that he had for a character not being cast as black, and I actually thought, you know what, he's actually got a really good point with this, and he said that there should never be a black Batman. Not just just to actually correct that, he said there should never be a black Bruce Wayne. And this is why,
because he's a rich man who comes from privilege.
But not just it comes from privilege. The Wayne family
are moneyed,
from history. They would have owned slaves. They would have. That's why, and that is that's the only argument. No, and that's the only character that you can make that argument with, and I found that
Tony
fascinating.
Stark could make the same argument as well.
Yes, maybe not to a point. Yes, but also I don't think, because the Starks were always inventors. I don't think they were always rich. They were just always innovators and inventors.
Okay. Yeah, no, fair enough. No, that makes sense. But yeah, definitely Bruce Wayne. I agree that. That's actually a really good point. Really well.
When I heard that, I was like, "You fucking hell!" I never sort of really considered that. But yeah, he would have come from that kind of background.
Same with Oliver Queen then.
Yes, yeah, it would have been same with Oliver Queen. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I'm trying to think of anyone in Marvel where that would.
In Marvel, well, they've changed the character for the MCU, Moon Knight, because Stephen Grant was a billionaire in the comics. But other than that, I can't think of another Marvel character that you could make that sort of argument that they've come from big money. The rest of it, they're most of the characters in Marvel. This is the difference between Marvel and DC. Is most of the characters in Marvel, generally, Thor as an exception, got their powers from accidents.
Yeah.
Whereas in DC, they're sort of born gods. Yeah, except for the X-Men, but that's
unless you're saying their parents were accidents and
yeah, they all lived near Chernobyl. That's where
No, they're unplanned pregnancy.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And with that, I have just given more fodder for the pro-lifers in the MCU. Oh, I feel like the worst person in the world.
That's because you are.
Yep. No, I think there's I've never agreed with again sticking with the sort of woke stuff. It's the anti-woke people. Is well the phrase "go woke, go broke," and every time they use that phrase, I'm like, when has something gone woke? If that's possible,
yeah.
If that's possible, and then gone broke because of a direct consequence of them trying to represent a wide range of people in their movie or TV show or game. I can't think of a single example where that's happened. People bring up Captain Marvel as an example. They go woke, go broke. Look at Captain Marvel. I'm like, it made a lot of money.
It made a billion. It made a billion.
It made a lot of money. It did not break. It did not go broke. And it inspired a whole bunch of girls and women into realizing there was a superhero for them in the MCU, which did Black Widow a dirty. But the point is, it's there.
I mean, Black Widow still had a decent opening weekend. It's just it could have been better because of the.
It could have been a better film, yeah. But like,
not just a better film, but it was co-released on Disney+.
Anyone who uses the phrase "go woke, go broke" has no argument whatsoever. So yeah,
not at all, not at all. Anyways,
this has been lovely tonight, buddy.
It has.
Enjoyed this.
It really has. We should probably end this stream.
We probably should.
But we do thank you all for sticking with us. We appreciate you.
And, we do. And we hope you enjoyed it. And we are aware that my audio and video are slightly out of sync. We will have to work on that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just the power of my computer or one thing that seems to work, which I don't know. Can you get Zoom on PlayStation? I don't think.
You know what you can do as well, though. You can put a delay on the audio in OBS. Play the audio delay. So we'll try and do that for next time.
Well, yeah. Well, it might be a bit tricky. I'm working next Saturday.
Yeah, it might not happen next week, but it will happen next Saturday.
It'll happen. Listen, it'll probably after we have our break.
Yeah,
we'll come back. And we'll be jacked, we'll be,
because we'll hit the gym. We'll be like,
yeah. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful.
Right. Well, thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you next Saturday.
We'll see you soon, people. Take care.
Bye-bye.